Good afternoon. It's very good to be here with you and to talk a little bit about sharing memories and organizing the gallery. This class is designed for people who already know basically how to do memories, how to put them into FamilySearch, and something a little bit maybe about the FamilySearch Gallery, or want to know a little bit more about the gallery. If you want to know more about how to do memories in general, and the gallery, maybe in just a little bit more depth or whatever, you're welcome to visit Sister Catherine Grant's videos that she did last year. She did several of them, and they're very much in depth, so they'll give you even more information. So the question is, how do I organize and share my memories in the FamilySearch Gallery? And my question to you is, how's your memory? And how's your memory gallery? I know so many of us think that our memories are not that good, and part of it is because maybe we haven't put our memories into any physical form. So what FamilySearch allows us to do is put those memories that we have into a physical form that lets us then remember them. So one of the things that we can do then, of course, is post photos and stories and other kinds of documents onto our gallery in FamilySearch. And you can do that on people's person pages in FamilySearch, or you can sometimes just post them to the gallery. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about the Memories Gallery then. So the Memories Gallery in FamilySearch is a free feature. It allows you to store and organize family photos, documents, and audio recordings in one secure place. However, it's not a storage site. So there are plenty of storage sites that will let you put an enormous amount of information into them. One of them is Google Photos. There's also Facebook, Flickr, PhotoBucket, and other ones that are paid. Some of them are free. Most of them you have to pay for a certain amount of storage. So FamilySearch is free, and because it's free, we can't really, I think it wouldn't be right to have a zillion people putting in a zillion different things. It would overload the system. So basically you can put around 6,000 items into your gallery, which is actually, when you think about it, quite a lot. So you want to choose a little bit more carefully maybe than what you would do if you're putting things into Google Photos. It brings together everything that you posted on FamilySearch, for example, photos, documents, audio, stories, things like that, in one centralized place. So you can see everything that's available that you've posted. It can also show you things that other people have posted on FamilySearch, photos and so on, in other people's that maybe you haven't necessarily posted to. It also makes it possible for you to find and organize your FamilySearch memories, and it makes it possible for you to share your memories on other platforms. It allows you to make memories you wish to keep private inaccessible to other users of FamilySearch, even though the standards of inclusion are, of course, still applicable. Now, on those standards of inclusion, that mainly applies to photos. FamilySearch relies on people's goodness to keep their posts within the standards themselves, so that they can't really like police every single audio or every video that you might post on there. So you have to, or document, I mean, that you have to kind of be careful and make sure that you do follow those standards. And if you haven't seen those, they're on FamilySearch. You can find them very easily. Mainly it's just a question of good taste. So there are a lot of other options that we have in the gallery, or to get things into the gallery. So there are other things that you can look for also in memories. So the first thing is to look at memories itself. So from the main menu on the main page, you're going to click on memories, and you're going to click on overview. If you click on the overview, it will help you to know how to upload, how to tag, how to create a slideshow, which is really awesome. We did that for my mom's funeral. and how to use other options that Memories has. So that's a really good, if you don't know that much about Memories, you might want to check on that, even if you do know quite a bit about Memories. It's something to look at maybe. The second thing that's really cool, and you can see those on the right-hand side, is to click on people. That shows you thumbnails of the people in your tree that already have Memories attached. Now you can find those also if you go to fan chart and you click on one of the option that says stories, photos, and so on. They'll show you which of your relatives already have photos and stories. That's in a big, large format. This shows you just a grid with all the people, or you can do it by close relatives. You can do it by people that you've added. You can Memories too. You can do it by people's memories that are not yet attached to any person in particular. So that's actually really helpful. Like that memory I just have there of Arthur Sim, for example. When you click on the attach, the paperclip there, it will take you to the page that shows that memory. And if it's not attached to some people that are in the memory on their page yet, you can actually do that. You can attach them to that memory. So it's really helpful in that way. So you don't have to always kind of hunt and search for people whose memories have not been attached to them. You can sort them. You can also look for names, and you can also look for dates. The next thing is on that memory menu is to click on find, and that lets you search for memories, but it has to be things that have text or topics. That one doesn't search by people. The people is what you'll use to search for people. And then the next one is the gallery, and that will take you directly to your personal gallery page. So this is what it looks like. This is my this is my beta gallery page. So I have a lot more memories than that, but just to show you how it looks like, this is an example. So you can see there are photos of my grandmother mostly, and some of my great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. There's also a few documents in there, and a scanned document up there in the right-hand corner, family record of children, picture of my parents on their way to Uganda, and just some other pictures. So you can see when you put anything into the gallery, you're going to basically have kind of a mishmash of things. So it'll tell you, however, in the left-hand corner, how many memories you have, how many are in different files, as you can tell on the left-hand side. So it kind of keeps track of how many memories you're putting in. And when you kind of get, maybe if you get 4,000 or 5,000, you might start thinking about culling some of them or putting them into your archive. So how do you select the menus then? As you could see, there were several different items on the menus, and we'll look at that. How do you select those menus and the options? So back to the page, you can see up here at the top, there's the menu right here at the top. And then on the left, you have this isn't really a menu, but you have a list over here on this side. There's another menu that will come up when you actually do work with your, when you're trying to work with your photos and things like that. So how do you navigate these particular menus? We're going to take a look at it and just kind of get it in your head, because we're going to move to this next page just to look at what the menus are. So here we have the different icons. Okay, so on the left is the grid view here, the first one. That's the one here at the top. The grid view brings up all visible memories in a thumbnail form, but it will not bring up archived items, which is actually really helpful, because if you put something in the archives, you won't see it every single time you bring it up. If it's something you're not that wanting to see, or like if you have a whole lot of memories and you just want to kind of keep the ones that you're working with in particular, you can put them in and out of the archive. You don't have to keep them there. So that's your thumbnails that you saw when in that one that we were looking at before. So these are the thumbnails here. And so that's your grid right there. So secondly, your camera brings only photos. So it leaves out all the documents, all the stories, all the audio. It leaves all that out. The book icon brings up all your stories. Your document icon brings up the materials that have been identified as documents. Now, for example, in this family record of children here, this would have to be identified by me as a document because it looks like a photo. So, and you can do that, and I'll show you how to do that later. And then lastly, your headphones icon, that will bring up any audio files, and those will have a little green, oh, I don't have any in here right now. Those will have a little green play button on them. So it looks like an audio. Now, be aware that if you put archived items into your archive, they won't be visible in that gallery grid view menu. They won't come up in your gallery at all. You have to look in your archive. Now, this is the list, the menus list. So on the left, you have your memories. And if you click on that, it brings up all the visible memories except your archived or deleted items. It won't bring up deleted items either. If you click on my archive, it will bring up all those things that are in your archive. Recently deleted will bring up items that you've deleted within the last 120 days. Now, I will tell you, if you forget you've deleted something and then you decide you want to go back and fix it, you need to do that within 4 months. Otherwise, it will get deleted permanently. But while it's in that particular file right there, nobody can see it but you. You can't edit it. You can't attach it to Family Tree. Nobody else can either. So you have to take it out of the recently deleted if you want to do anything with that. But you can also then just delete it permanently without having to wait. If it's something you really don't want in there at all, you can just get rid of it. Then when you click on the bookmarks, it will bring up memories that you have bookmarked. And I'll show you how to do that. And then the files, this indicates album files that you have created. So that there are not really any albums in except for the memories archived and recently deleted and bookmarks until you make a new album. So when you add an album, then it will show up in this list. If you file anything, it will be in the memories album. It will be in the album that you filed it in. And it will also be in archive if it was already in archive and you filed it in an album. So you can archive things and they'll remain in the album that you chose to put them in the first place. Like, for example, if I put my grandmother's picture in archive and then but I also wanted it in Beard, then I would take it out of archive, put it in Beard. It would still be in the archive, but it would also appear in Beard. Okay, now this is the second part of that menu. It's on the right-hand side. So this is over on the right. You can see the plus there. That lets you add memories. So when you click on that, it brings up the add memories page that lets you drag and drop or do whatever you need to get a memory in there. If you click on it and you go back, sometimes it will stay open and it won't let you do what you want. Just click on it again, it'll go away. Then the second thing there is the arrange. And there's a lot of things that you can look at. You can arrange your page by newest added, by title. If there's no title, it'll show you the ones with no title, and then you can put a title on them. If it's not in an album, it will show you, and then you can put them in the album. It will also show you private or public memories. The grid on the right, that's the one with the just the 6 grid here on the right. This arranges the thumbnails, the things that you're looking at by thumbnails, just like your big one does, but it only arranges a certain, whatever you choose under that filter. The list on the right there, that's the dots with the line, that will arrange things, all your memories in a list form that you're looking at. So it'll arrange all your newest added in a list form. And in that case, what it gives you it will give you different options to work with. So it's actually a really helpful thing to look at. And then the next one is search. And search allows you to search by text. You can also search by numbers, like, for example, dates or ages or whatever. It's not really super accurate sometimes, but you can use numbers. It will save your search if you change filters, so you can use different filters for your arrangement, and it'll still save that same search. So that's kind of nice. So how do you use this menu then to organize your memories so that they make sense and you can find them quickly? This is how you do it. So the first thing you do is you click on the new album, as you saw on that list on the left side of the gallery. It's got new album. So you're going to click on new album. You'll name the album file, and it'll bring up My Memories, My Archive, or any album that you want. So any album that you want, you're going to bring that up. My Memories, you're going to bring up My Archive, or you bring up any album that you want. And you can click on the check mark that appears when you roll over the thumbnail. So if you roll over it, that check mark will come up. You can click on it, it'll go blue, and you can click on as many as you want. It does, however, change your options when you click on a lot of them. So if you only want to work with one, it'll give you different options than if you work with several. However, like if you knew that all of Jane McDonald you wanted to put into Jane McDonald, you click on everything that has to do with her, and then you can just drag and drop all of them, and you don't have to fiddle with any of the other options or things that come up. So you can drag and drop into an album on this platform. Okay, so it's really great. It's just like, any other, like Microsoft or whatever. You just grab them with your hand, mouse with your hand on the mouse, and then just click them in. Okay, now how to organize your gallery. Again, this is just talking about documents, audio files, and stories. So the same thing. In My Memories, My Archive, or any album, you're going to click on the check mark. Then there's a blue ribbon that comes to the top of the page. It tells you how many selections you made. And then there's a button called Actions. So if you click on one document, that the menu here on the right comes up. Okay, so that's all you really need to see here, is because it's really easy to get to that point. So I didn't want to show you the whole thing, because I think you guys know probably a little bit about gallery already. So if you open in the new tab, that will open it out as a memory in FamilySearch. And then you can do whatever you want with it, whatever you need to do as a memory. It will also download instantly. So if you click on download, it automatically downloads it right into your computer, into your browser, and then you just have to save it or open it or do whatever you want with it. Add to an album lets you choose the album you want to put it into. So you click on that, it'll bring up your albums, and then you just choose the album you want and click on it, and then it'll add it to the album. Move to My Archive. That will take it out of your main gallery page, put it into your archive. Now remember, if you put something in your archive, it will no longer show on your main gallery page, but it will show in any album that it is in. Okay. I've done this with a lot of mine. I put them into my archive because they just sort of clutter up what I want to do with my main gallery page. So it's actually really useful, I think, to put ones that you don't really usually want to look at. Then the next one is Show Containing Albums. That means if you've put a selection into more than one album, which I have done with several, a lot of my photos, it will show which albums contain that particular selection. And you can change them out or change them in, whatever you want to do. Then you can add a topic tag. So one thing people don't often know is that if you put a topic tag instead of just a person tag, of course we want to tag all the people that are in any particular memory. But if we add a topic tag as well, that will make it easy for other people to find. It makes it searchable when we go to find, like I showed you at the beginning of the class. When you go to that find and you add a topic tag, then you put in that topic, and it will find any memories that come up with that particular topic. So you want to make it as specific to the memory as you can. Otherwise, like if you put in Salt Lake City, you'd get a zillion different memories that probably don't even apply to your person. So you want to put it really specific. It gives you I can't remember exactly. I think it might give you 200 characters. I think that's right. I know the albums give you 200 characters. So that's a really useful thing, and I really, really suggest doing it. Most people don't, and it's really, really something that people really should be doing. The second thing is, the last thing there is make private. A lot of people don't realize that you can make your memories private. You do not have to share them with the world. And when you make a memory private, it comes up with the padlock on the page. So it'll at the bottom. So it looks, you can see that it's private and only you can see it at that point. You cannot share those memories. As soon as you put that private on it, it's done. Okay. You can't share those memories. They are going to hopefully open the group family sharing feature on FamilySearch fairly quickly. They're working on it. I know it's in beta and people are testing it, but they haven't done it yet, which will make you able to share private things with just certain people in your family. So that's something to look forward to. But for right now, if something's private, you can't share it unless you make it public. Then you can make it back public again, though, because if it says make public, then you just do the same thing as you did to make it private. There's also that little FamilySearch article in Help that gives you a little bit more information about that. And then the last one is to delete. Now, it says to permanently delete when it comes up, but if you permanently delete it, it'll still stay in your archive for 120 days unless you go into that permanently or recently deleted archive and actually delete it again. You can move it out. You can move it wherever you want still, but it's going to be in that recently deleted archive. Now, this is photos. It's a little bit different, but not really. So you can see you've got the option to open it in a new tab, and that way you can add titles, add pages, tag people, do whatever you need to do with your memory that you normally would do. And we're not really talking about that today. But the other thing that's kind of cool is if you put your memory in and it comes up and you put it in backward, upside down or to the, side or something like that, you can always rotate it. And that's awesome right there. So rotate left, rotate right. You just rotate it 90 degrees until it gets to the place where you want it. And then you can do the same things. You can download, you can add to an album. And this one you can change to a document. So this is what I was talking about. When you have a photo like that scanned record that I had in my gallery, where it was actually a photograph of a document, you can change that to a document by clicking on that, and it'll just let you change it, and then it will show up as a document in your gallery. And so you can save it. Then you can save it as a memory document, on your page, on the person's page. That also, you can find out how to do that in other places on Help or whatever. Just Google, how do I make a memory into a source? Then move to archives, show the albums, add a topic tag, and make private. Same thing, deletes the same way. So all those photos, you can do the same things that you can do with a document. And then the next thing is how to share. So once you've got your documents all in order, and I suggest you try doing that, unless you have like 6,000 of them, it shouldn't take you all that long. Find a memory that you want to share in your gallery. You can find it in your gallery. You can look on a person's page and find the memory there, or you can find it from the memories menu that I showed you with Find, but if you can search by text or topic. Click on the memory that you want. It will bring up the editable page. So when you bring up that editable page, it has all the information on it that you need to add everything you need to a memory to make it as shareable and searchable as you want. So anything that you need to add to it, you can add to it. And then you're going to click the share icon, which is that little triangular thing there. And it's in the upper right-hand corner of that editable page. Okay, so you're not going to find this on the gallery page. It's on the person's page. When you click on that person's memory, that memory will come up and you'll have a share icon. Okay, so that's where you're going to find the share. And then you're going to click how you want to share it. So when you click on that share, it will come up with these different shares. This is the only way you can really do it. It's Facebook, Messenger, Twitter. It will go to WhatsApp. line, email, copy link, or download. So you can copy the link, you can download it onto your computer and share it that way, or you can just, you know, do the email things, send it to somebody by email, whatever you want to do. Facebook, it's really got a lot of different things you can do. To copy the URL, just copy the link and then you can paste it into an email message if you want to do it that way. To email it, click email, and then when your email opens, you see a list of email applications to choose from, like Yahoo or Gmail or any of those other ones. I don't know if AOL is on there. When the email opens, it will already have the URL in it. Okay, so you don't even have, if you click on email, you don't even have to do anything. You just click on email, choose your option for whatever carrier you use, and there it will be already in your email. So then you just send a message, hey, I found this picture, I think it's so awesome, you should really, you know, think how much you look like your great grandmother or something like that. And then there are certain carriers that will open a new browser window, and so then you'll have to copy it and put it in. But Yahoo doesn't do that, I know for sure, and Gmail I don't think does either. Remember, though, that if it's a private memory, it won't be shared. Okay, so if it comes up and there's no share icon, it's because you've marked it private, and so then you'll have to go back and mark it public so that you can share it. Hope this all makes sense. There is a handout, so make sure you get the handout and it'll have all this information for you. It's also in help if you want to look in help. So these are my super tips for doing things in the gallery. The first thing is, remember to click on new album to name your album file. That's all you have to do. Just click on new album, name the file, and then you've got a file. But when you do name a file, this is what I would suggest. Be very specific. Name them by family, by occasion, by person, by date, by place, by anything that identifies what you're putting in there really accurately, okay? Because the more accurate you make your file name, and you have 200 characters to be able to do this, so you can name it very accurately. So be specific, particularly if you have a lot of photos from the same person or the same family, and you can put in a lot of albums. You don't have a very limited number of albums. You can put a lot of albums in there, as many as you need. And so just be specific with your album names so that you can find them again. It's easy for you to keep track of them. I would suggest, if you do a lot of memories, that you go to your gallery frequently and order them, organize them quite frequently. It's the same thing as if you use the source box. You've got to go there quite frequently. Otherwise, things get out of hand and then you just throw up your hands and say, I'm not doing this. So go in there every once in a while and just take care of it, update it, put things away, archive stuff, delete things you've decided don't really fit, whatever. It shouldn't take too long if you do it fairly frequently. Put photos and documents in as many albums as you need to. Any album that applies to it, you can put them in. So just put them in 6 albums if you want, you know, anything that works for those. That makes it so much easier to find things, because if you're trying to find something, it's can't remember what album it's in, and you bring it up and you've got 84, like you saw on mine, 84 in your gallery, and you're like trying to figure out, and this is, I've had people complain to me about this before, and I tell them, well, you just gotta organize it and then you can do it. So the fact that you got a lot of things in there is very frustrating, but only if you don't put your things in the right album. So don't get frustrated, just organize. You can, this is just a little shortcut. You can use the right click on your mouse when you roll over any picture. When you roll over it, you can actually right click your mouse. It'll bring up that actions menu, and it will also click the blue check. So the right click is your shortcut on your gallery to bring up the actions menu. If you click on any memory thumbnail, it brings up the actual memory in that editable format. And this is what you can do on that editable format. Okay, you can edit information about the memory. You can add tags, topic tags, and people tags. You can edit the visibility, whether it's private or public. You can edit any details you want to add, and I suggest adding details to your memory as much as possible. It will make it much easier for other people to understand. It's so frustrating when I go to a memory that someone's added and they did not tell me anything about that. It's just, I just want to say, why didn't you tell me? I would really like to know more about this memory. So always add details. Topics makes it easy for people to find, including yourself. You can see which albums they're in. You can add them to an album, and you can add stories as well. Type in just some information about that thing that's there on that page. So it's really great. There's so much you can do with your memories, and I really suggest doing as much as possible. The tools feature lets you adjust the image like Photoshop would, only much less, with much less fanciness, I guess. It's not quite as tech, but it does let you adjust the image to some degree, and that can be really nice. And you can also share it, like I said, from that page. So there's lots of stuff you can do with your memories from your gallery and just from the person's page if you just click on the memory. Now remember this, however, if you did not add the memory yourself, you can't do anything really with that memory. Okay, so that's kind of a problem, but we can kind of understand that because we've all had that situation, where people change something in a person's page that we know is not right. So we don't want to let everybody just play with every kind of image or thing that you have. So that's why we make them personal in the gallery.
Hey, Jerroleen.
I just saw that question. Just 1 second, I'll answer it. Okay. I'm going to get off this page first. Okay, so this is the end, and I'll just answer any questions now. So hope you enjoy a huge organized gallery, and I wish that my memory could be as tidy as my gallery is. It didn't look that tidy on the on the beta, but I try to keep my gallery really organized. So hopefully you can do the same, and it will make your family search memories experience so much more fun and interesting and easy to deal with and have. So thank you very much. I would be happy now to answer any questions, including the one about the archive. The reason I put things in archive is because there are things maybe that I have shared that I'm not, number one, not sure of, and I don't want to put on the person's page. Number two, that I need to work on. I'm not going to put it in any other album. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, that I might want to delete later. For example, something that I don't really want to delete yet because I'm not ready for sure if I want to delete it or not. So I'll put it in archive. If it's something that I have already done and doesn't really belong in any album, and I don't want to make an album specifically for that, you could see on my beta, I had 44 in archive. A good portion of those were little audio clips that my grandsons put on my FamilySearch account. They're 7 and 9. And you can imagine that some of them were things I don't want to keep, but I didn't want to go through and have to do it right away. So I put them in the archive, and then I can just go through them later and decide which ones I wanted to keep, because some of them were just things like bras, you know how kids are. So that's what they were doing. And so there were a couple that were really cute, I'm sure, because I did listen to 1 or 2 of them, but I didn't want to listen to all of them and at that moment. So I put them in archive. So that's the kind of thing I use archive for. You can use it for anything you want, obviously.
Jerroleen Gordon would like to know if you can share a link to your slide deck, but this will be in the...
Yes. So this will actually be in the FamilySearch, the Family History Library in our BYU Library Family History Center's website. And it'll be exactly the same as I just showed you, with maybe just a couple of the slides missing, the ones that don't really have that much to do with telling you how to do stuff. But it'll be pretty much the exact same thing that you'll see.
Okay. Yeah, and then I have a couple questions for you.
You bet.
So you tell me, what do you do when you look, you're looking online and Family Search and you see people that have posted pictures of your ancestors and maybe in a group picture and they've labeled people incorrectly?
Yeah.
Do you do in that case? I mean, we have tried to contact them, but they haven't responded, but they definitely have people labeled incorrectly. So
Yeah, that is a problem, and I have seen that myself in my own family search tree. I do that. I'll contact people, and if they'll come back to me, then we can fix it together. The other thing you can tag over top of them.
you can tag?
So just put another tag on that's correct,
Oh, okay.
and then at least they'll be in the right person page eventually, instead of being in the wrong person page. Yeah, and I had an instance of that. In fact, when I was doing this class, I came across somebody who had been mistagged, and I couldn't untag it because I didn't put the tag on. So I just retagged it, and both those tags are there. And so anybody that goes there will just have to decide which one they like. I also put a comment, though. I always comment whenever I go to a memory that someone else has done. You can always comment, and I will do that. So like if I had to retag or something was not correctly stated in the details or whatever, I will comment again. And that happened, actually, interestingly enough, to myself. I put something in for my grandpa and my grandma. They were in an old car, and I was thinking it was their wedding. But actually, as it turned out, my cousin told me in the comments that it was not their wedding. It was actually my grandpa's mission farewell.
Oh,
And she sent me the story that grandpa had told her about that particular picture. So then we were able to put that in also to show what the picture was about. So that kind of stuff, when you can contact people and if they'll answer you, it can really turn out really nicely. So I was able to do that. Well, like I said, if you want more detail, and there is a lot more to memories, particularly, go ahead and look in Catherine Grant's list of webinars, and she's got, like I say, I think there's 3 of them that are specifically on memories and gallery and all that kind of thing. So she did some really in-depth stuff with that